Oh hey, say what you doing there, Ro? Sharpening my knife. What do you think? I need a sharp knife because I'm gonna slice and dice some meat for some beef tartare. What's beef tartare, Ro? It's raw beef with some tartare things. It's real nice. But here I'm gonna open a bracket. This is not a classic tartare. This is my tartare. So for example, instead of egg yolk or mushrooms, I'm gonna use truffle oil. That's gonna give me both the mouthfeel and the pungency. Or instead of mustard, I'm gonna use watercress, which is not only gonna bring that herbal freshness, but also that bit of pepperiness that the watercress has. Before we get to the beef though, we're gonna prep the tartare things. I'm gonna start with a half a shallot that I have here. Why do you have half a shallot lying around, Ro? Maybe because I shot the video already, but with the wrong lens? Don't worry about it. All you have to worry about is that shallot on my board. I'm gonna go in with a couple of slices lengthwise. And then I'm gonna cut it from the top. And then I'm gonna give it a fine dice. I'm gonna start putting everything on this plate here so that it's easy access when I need it. Nice. Then I'm gonna go in with my other allium, the garlic. And you'll notice that I've changed knives and this is not random. Oh no, he's macerating again. At this point this is becoming a meme. Should I make some t-shirts? But hey, the tartare is a dish that's built on balance. So you don't want a mouthful of garlic. That's no bueno. And while we're macerating, we're gonna do it to a couple of anchovy fillets. Willie, if you're watching, can you please get me one of those anchovy forks that you talked about? Just gonna give those a quick once over with the knife. And I'm just gonna puree them. Now, if you're worried that the tartare is gonna taste like fish, don't, it won't. It's just gonna give that extra depth of flavor and umami. For acid, I'm gonna do a few cornichons. Boom 1, boom 2, what the hell, boom 3. Those are gonna get the same treatment as the shallots. If you're concerned that some of these ingredients are too much, don't. That's why we're prepping everything so that when the time comes, we can use as much of each ingredient as we think we need. This is our palette when we're painting our masterpiece. I'm also gonna chop up some capers. I know people have a love-hate relationship with capers. I personally love them. If you don't use them. I just love that briny saltiness that they bring. And so these are our two acid elements. You can use lemon, but make sure you use that at the very end when you mix your tartare. Otherwise it's gonna oxidize the meat and you're gonna get roadkill. And all that's left now are the herbs. Get a good bunch of parsley. Make sure you got some nice stems in there. Not only do they provide a good crunch, but they're also very good for you. Guys, if you don't eat your parsley stems, eat them. They're good for men. And the last element, which is, I'd say, maybe the most important for me, is the watercress. I love this stuff. Not only does it bring freshness and this herbal punch, but it's also got this very nice pepperiness to it. I'm just gonna drop a little pile of sea salt in the middle as well. So this is our plate of tartare things ready. Now let's make this thing. Now before we build the tartare, I'm gonna make a quick saffron and garlic mayo. And I'm gonna do that with a pestle and mortar so I can break the cell walls of the garlic and the saffron and really get them going. I'm just gonna quickly dice this garlic. No maceration this time, I promise. Just to give it a head start, garlic goes in. A little pinch of saffron. I'm gonna give it a pinch of salt to get it started. Once we stop seeing big pieces of garlic and the saffron has nicely stained the mixture, I'm gonna add a splash of vinegar or your acid of choice. You can add lemon. I prefer vinegar. I'm gonna get that worked in, and then to that we're gonna add 1 egg yolk. So we're just gonna quickly separate the yolk from the egg white here. Boom, inside it goes. Incorporate the egg yolk. And then I'm gonna slowly start adding drops of oil. I'm adding vegetable oil. You can add olive oil, but I think it makes the mayo a little bit bitter. In fact, I might do half and half, just for the flavor. It's important to go slow in the beginning so you don't break the emulsion. So I'm gonna add a little bit more. All right, I think we're out of the danger zone here. I'm gonna go in with some olive oil as well, just for the flavor. And I'm basically gonna keep going like this until I have mayo. Check for seasoning. Oh, this is so good. And that's it. Our garlic and saffron mayo is done. Now let's address the star of the show, the beef. Got a nice piece of tenderloin here, or filet mignon. Normally I'm not a big fan of the fillet when it comes to steak, but for a tartare, it's got just the right ratio between lean meat and fat. Now I think I'm gonna use this part, and I'm gonna save this part. Maybe I'll do a quick little improvised steak video during the week, who knows? Cuts like butter. I mean, just already look at that muscle separation. I'm gonna try to go in really thin. As I already mentioned, I already shot this video once and I used the flank steak, which actually works very well. It's lean, it's tender, it's got nice muscle separation. It's really good for a tartare and it's cheaper. Right, and I'm gonna go into strips. One thing you should never do when making a tartare is use minced meat or pre-ground beef. The reason is, usually it's not as fresh and it's got so much more surface area for bacteria to breathe over. You want a fresh piece of meat that you cut up yourself. Okay, so the first thing I want to do after the beef is all sliced is throw it in a little bowl and heat it with some olive oil. And don't be shy, tartare loves olive oil. The reason why I'm doing this straight away is because I want to seal the meat in a way. The olive oil protects it from oxidizing. Alright, from here I'm gonna hit it with some fresh cracked black peppies. Go in with some of the truffle oil as well. And I'm gonna start going in with the tartare things. Starting with some flake sea salt. Couple of big pinches of that. And a little bit of the garlic. I'm not gonna go in with the whole clove. I'm just gonna go in with, let's say, a third of that. I'm also gonna do maybe half of the anchovies, a good half of the shallots, half of the cornichons, half of the capers, half of the parsley, and all of the watercress, because I like it. Okay, let's give this a nice mix now and see where that takes us. It takes us to a very good place. I think I need a little bit more acid though, so I'm gonna add some more of the capers, some more of the cornichons. I want some more of the crunch and the sweetness of the shallot, and some more of the watercress. I want that extra pepperiness. I can already smell that this is where it needs to be. Oh yeah. Just a tiny glug more of the truffle oil. And I think we're there. I'm gonna use one of these ring molds to shape it with. And voila. I think that's fucking nice, if I may say so myself. And then I'm just gonna garnish it with a little bit of extra watercress. All we're missing here are some slices from a crunchy sourdough baguette. Remember that garlic saffron mayo we made? Now, if this wasn't already good enough, let's turn this into a feast. I would pay a lot of money for this in a restaurant. If you've never had or made a tartare, you should definitely give this a try. Roll out!